What's up, everybody? Crash here. Welcome back to Crash Gets the Spread, where we talk about sports from a betting perspective. It is Monday, January 6th, and we have 9 NBA games to talk about today. Getting into yesterday, I didn't do a video. I had to work in the morning, so I didn't have time to put it together. But we didn't really do how we wanted to do. I was on Golden State against Sacramento. I was on Houston to beat the Lakers, and they did, but they didn't cover the 4.5, which I had. They won by 4. And I was on the under again in the Magic game, which hit like clockwork. So Golden State was a disappointing one for me. Thought they'd be a little more competitive than that. But 1 and 2 we went for our NBA picks. The NFL games all wrong. That's why I kind of laid off that and just started focusing on NBA for this 2025. So getting into today's card, we are looking at the Suns and the Sixers. Up first, Suns are actually changing up their starting lineup a little bit. They're sitting Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic and bringing in two other pieces. I think they want to play faster. Mason Plumlee and somebody else starting in Beal's spot. Can't even remember right now. But they're making changes to try to turn around their season. So I kind of like that aspect with the Sixers. Sixers have been good recently, but still kind of up and down in my opinion. In they're 7-3 straight up in their last 10 games, but they're still 5-5 against the spread. So I would like to back the Suns in this spot. It's kind of a desperation spot for them. And with the changes they're making, I know they're trying to trying to get a hold of their season. So I would kind of lean that way, see what we get. Not really sure if it'll make my final couple bets. I think there's some other spots on the card I like better. So lean Suns. Next game is the Blazers and Pistons. I like the under in that game. It's at 226.5. I think these teams have been stepping up their defense a little bit, and or Portland has been having an issue scoring. So last game, Portland won against the Bucks. It was 105-102. Held each other down to under 106 points each. Lakers game was 106-114. That still would have been under this number. The Blazers lost to Philly. They gave up 125 points to Philly. Yeah, and same thing with the Pistons in their last 3. They've been holding. They beat Minnesota, held them to 105. They held Charlotte to 94. They held Orlando to 96. Yeah, I know Orlando has a bunch of injuries, but still, they weren't lighting the world on fire either offensively. So, kind of like the under this game, 226. We would need both teams, in my opinion, to get up and over 110 apiece. And not sure if that'll happen in this game or not. So under is where I'm leaning for the Blazers and Pistons game. Pacers and the Nets. I would lean Pacers to win the game, but at 10 points, it's a little too many points for me. In the last 10 games, they have beaten a couple teams by more than 10, but they haven't been favored by 10 and had to win by 10. So in a situation where maybe they blow them out by halftime and Nets can backdoor, I just want to stay off the game. Magic and the Knicks. We know I like the under in a Magic game, and with the Magic struggling to score, I think this is the perfect spot. Totals all the way at 209. So we can see a 120-80 game and still hit this under. So team total for the Magic, somewhere in the 90s. You can do that one too if you like, but I'm going to do the whole game over at 209, and I would still lean Knicks at the minus 11 or 12 or whatever it is right now. Orlando's just struggling to score, and Knicks are coming off a loss where they let Chicago shoot 50% from 3. So that's why I lost that bet, and I don't think that the Knicks are going to let that happen again. And spoiler alert, I think the Bulls are going to regress again in that Spurs game. So under 209 in the Knicks in that game. Bucks Raptors, not really sure who I like in this one. Bucks are 3-5 as road favorites. Raptors have a fairly healthy squad back, so this isn't the same Raptors team we've seen in the last pretty much all season. I mean, Emmanuel quickly didn't play for 22 games, and he's now back. And in their last game, they beat the Nets and lost to the Magic. So last 2 games. So that was the first game back for quickly, I believe, is that Nets game that they won 130-113. And you know, Nets Magic defense, we can't really. They did have, the Magic did have some starters in that game, and they're recently lost Suggs, lost Anthony, a lot of other, their main cast is on the bench right now. So that's why I don't really like them offensively right now. But against the Raptors, they still have some pieces, so that's not a terrible loss for the Raptors. But yeah, with all their guys back, I can't say that they can't cover the 7. So I think that's the way I would lean, but I'm not going to bet that game. I like the Spurs against the Bulls, 2.5 or 3 points. I think that the Bulls are going to show some regression from that Knicks game, and I think the Spurs, coming off that loss to Denver, are going to show up for this game. So Spurs minus 2.5. Mavs are getting everybody back except for Kyrie and Luka, and a Mavs team with everybody but Kyrie and Luka, I still think is better than a Grizzlies team with all their pieces missing. So I am going to be on that side. Mavs +5 on the road. They are 10-9 on the road this year. I'm going to lean their way. Let's see, Memphis in their last 5 is 5-5 straight up and 5-5 on the road. Like I said the other day, I did notice that they were still second in the West, which I thought was interesting, being how injured they've been back and forth through most of the season. But I think they just let Houston pull above them. So yeah, so it goes OKC, Houston, then Memphis now. So yeah, I'm gonna lean on the Mavs in this game to cover the 5 points, 4.5 points, whatever you can get. Clippers and Timberwolves. I like the Clippers in this game. Clippers +2.5. Kawhi's back, easing himself in. He looked good the other night. They're a better defensive team with him on the floor. Terrence Mann is back. And Timberwolves are having a couple locker room issues, not really gelling as a team, not really talking about changing the starting lineup a little bit. Got Conley making excuses for the team and the media. Just there's a lot of turmoil, it seems, in Minnesota, and a Clippers team with a fully healthy roster, I think, is going to try to make a run. So Clippers +2.5 on the road, and Heat and Kings. I don't think I'm going to bet the Heat until they pull it together with their roster. So losing to the Jazz was kind of eye-opening. I thought that they might gel a little more without Jimmy on the floor, being that he was causing some issues in the locker room, but maybe he was more important than they're treating him. So we'll see what happens with the Heat, but not really going to bet Heat games. I guess maybe lean on the Kings the way the Heat looked the other day, but don't think I'm going to bet it. So games I like are the Clippers +2.5. I like the Mavs +5. I like the Knicks and the under, and I like the Spurs -2.5. So those are going to be my picks. Lock those in. Let's get this money, and we will be back tomorrow to talk some more NBA. See you then.